Good afternoon, Mr. President. I am confused. What led to the fallout between you and your deputy? You have told us three things thus far. In February, you told us that it was because DP Ruto was asking you to be hard on the opposition after the 2017 election, and you wanted peace. So that is why you fell out with him. Just recently, you have told us that it was because DP Ruto was working with the former Prime Minister behind your back. You have also told us that it is because DP Ruto had taken control of the Jubilee Party after the 2017 Jubilee primaries. So which of these three is true? Are all of these true? Or perhaps none of them is true? Number one, the opposition was pushing for maandamano after the 2017 general election, which would lead to a nusu mkate government. You told us that DP Ruto was asking you not to give in to those demands, kukaa ngumu, like Fred Gumo would say. And you didn't want that because you didn't want things burning in Kawangware while you have security guards at your place. If DP Ruto was giving you that advice, then it was the correct advice. If you give in to violence, and every time somebody disputes an election and turns violent and wants a nusu mkate government, you create a dangerous precedent for this country. So if that was the advice that he was giving you, that was the correct advice. So you should not have fallen out with him because of that. Number two, DP Ruto was working with the former Prime Minister behind your back. So I am again perplexed. DP Ruto was working with the former Prime Minister behind your back. Yet you're also saying DP Ruto was the one who was asking you to arrest the former Prime Minister after he swore himself in. So why would you work with somebody who you're trying to get arrested? Are you going to form an election pact with him while he is in prison? How powerful that pact be? And what was the power of the former Prime Minister at that time? Remember, the international community was against him. Kenyans had become tired of him also because of the maandamano, right? For example, the UK had banned his visa, that and James Orengo, shortly after he swore himself in. So you are going to negotiate with somebody who's already being alienated by the international community. Does that make sense? Why would DP Ruto do that? Meeting with Kikuyu elders, you said that the DP had, the former Prime Minister had approached the DP asking for a nusu mkate government in exchange for going against you, let's say impeaching you. But DP Ruto refused. DP Ruto in a previous interview on Citizen said that the former Prime Minister had approached him, but he refused. Are you confirming that DP Ruto was saying the truth at that time? Because that is what you told the Kikuyu elders. In that same interview, DP Ruto said that the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga wanted to humiliate President Moi after NARC had won the election in 2002. Was that also true? Because it was the same interview in which you are confirming that DP Ruto said this, the truth about the former Prime Minister approaching him to go behind your back. Which of these two leaders should you trust? A leader who was approaching somebody to go behind your back, a leader who wanted to humiliate a former president, or a leader who refused that being approached, and a leader who refused for another president to be humiliated? Why would DP Ruto ostracize the Kikuyu on the last leg? Why would he risk going against you, betraying the Kikuyu on the last leg? He would only do that if DP Ruto, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga alliance would work. But history has proved that it would not work. The KK alliance works. 2013 it got him the presidency, 2017 it got you the presidency. So why would he go back on that formula? Does it make sense? Therefore, after analyzing all of these facts, I find that the second reason that you're giving, that DP Ruto was going behind your back to work with the former Prime Minister, it does not hold water. And perhaps somebody told you that, or somebody lied to you about that, but when you look at it, when you analyze it, it does not make sense. Number three, you say that DP Ruto dethroned some of the people who are close to you, your loyalists, so that he could take control of the Jubilee Party. Now, if he had fixed loyalists in the Jubilee Party, why has he lost? Why has he lost that party? Why did he have to go and look for UDA? But that is another thing. Now, who are the loyalists that you lost during the Jubilee primaries? Was it Jamle Kamau? Was it William Kabogo? Was it Kabando Akabando? Perhaps those people fell because the people simply did not want them. Perhaps they failed to connect with the people on the ground. If they could have connected to the people on the ground at that time, why aren't they connecting to the people on the ground this time? For example, why is, let's say, somebody like Ngunjiri Wambungu, he's your loyalist. Why is he failing so miserably that he will not be elected again? Perhaps if you listen to people who do not tell you rosy stuff, but tell you what is happening on the ground, then perhaps those people will not lose the elections. So perhaps it is not DP Ruto's fault. Perhaps he listens to people who are on the ground and he tries to be close to them so that when they win, they can be close to him. But you love listening to people who are telling you things, nice things up there, like Amos Kimunya, but on the ground it's very different. So perhaps you need to listen to people on the ground more. So I also find reason number 3 does not make sense. Therefore, Mr. President, I find the reason that you have given thus far, they are not a sufficient explanation for why you fell out with DP Ruto. I believe that it is now time to tell the truth. Just say that the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is the only one who will bend so much because he wants power to ensure that you get a third term as president. He's the one who will give you whatever you want because he's the weakest political candidate between him and DP Ruto. So he has to give in to a lot of demands. Just say the truth. You want to protect family wealth. You want to protect your position in government. You want to protect your influence in government. And that's okay. Nobody will fault you for that. But these are the reasons that do not make sense.